What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the CeeLo's Film Club. We break down the biggest movie news and dive deep into the world of cinema. Today, we're going to be talking about Alien Earth Episode 6, titled The Fly. We're also going to be talking about a little bit of DC coverage about Man of Tomorrow, what the plot is somewhat about. Is Lex Luthor Superman's friends or foes? We don't know. It seems like they're going to be a little bit on the friend side, but we shall see, guys. Before we get started, don't forget the like and subscribe button. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you guys don't miss a beat on any of the movie news. All right, guys, let's talk about Alien Earth Episode 6. This is going to be just a quick recap of everything that went down. I'm not going to dive too crazy deep. There's a lot of episodes coming a week, and there's just a lot of things to go over. But I'm going to give you guys a quick recap. Pretty much Yutani and the boy Cavalier and Meryl sit down on the table and they try to figure out what to do with these aliens. Technically, they're Yutani's property, but the Maginot spaceship landed onto his property, which is Earth, with all his buildings. Had a whole bunch of tragedy. Pretty much tells her, hey, give me 25 billion for the creature. She says 15. They end up at 20, and then after that, he goes, well, they got to be quarantined. I can't give them to you in a few days, which is very sketchy. Very, very sketchy. Meryl does not like it at all. And after that, you get Yutani asking for 50 billion, and he goes, that would be very irresponsible. But behind that, we all know Cavalier is up to his own little plans, and they leave that as that. Kirsch and Meryl end up in an elevator. They have these conversations about being robots, and pretty much, as we all know, Kirsch is a complete robot, and Meryl, he is a cyborg, which is a human that has cybernetic parts. They have this conversation. They kind of go back and forth, just kind of talking a little bit smack. Then he ends up telling him, I'll see you later, old toy. When he says that, I think it means something more that we know. They did not say in this episode at all. But then let's go back to Wendy and Nibs. Nibs pretty much is having this breakdown thinking that she is pregnant. Arthur and Sylvia pretty much are in charge of her. And pretty much the company tells her they got to wipe her brain, not completely, but pretty much erase a lot of her memories. Just pretty much just keep her with knowing who she is and, what she is here for. But pretty much wiping the, her memory of all pretty much the things that she's done in the past, especially her thinking that she's still pregnant. Arthur thinks this is a terrible idea. He says this is not the way that we should be treating them. At the end of the day, these are kids inside a human body. They don't know any better. We should guide them, teach them, and stuff like that. But they don't want that. What they want to do is pretty much wipe their brains completely. Sylvia agrees to do it as Arthur says no. Arthur gets fired, and before he leaves, he goes on to this whole other little side adventure. But let's go back a little bit on these creatures that they have held up. They have that eye thing held up still. The Xenophobe is still communicating with Wendy nonstop. Don't know what they're talking about. Pretty much these Xenophobes are still contained. Wendy still likes talking to him. They show a little bit of aggression every now and then towards her. The one eye thing is just observing. I wonder what this one eye thing is. And I'm very curious about this one eye thing. Then we get pretty much Toothless is not Toothless. Toothless, he's pretty much gets assigned because everyone's doing something different. He gets assigned to feed the animals, and he messes up, goes inside this kind of windowed cage, and he gets attacked by those moth looking things. Pretty much Hermit has a conversation where Arthur is about to gonna get fired. So pretty much he asks, hey, is my sister safe here? He tells him yes, because the cameras are recording. The video cameras are recording, but he pretty much leaves it. He pretty much tells him, hey, I'll show you. Check out the computer. He starts clicking and he goes, we can check out everyone's vitals. Everyone's okay. Everyone's okay. Your sister's okay. But he's pretty much putting stuff down. Pretty much puts a boat with a code number on it, pretty much, I'm pretty sure, so he can just dip out of the island with the sister. And he also deactivates the trackers for everyone. When he leaves, he notices that the tracker for Toothless is not working, and that's when he gets scared and goes look for Toothless, because of course something happened. During that time, we get Meryl having a conversation with Slightly, again telling him he has to get someone over there. He cannot get Hermit. He was about to get Hermit to get close to the face hugger, but Hermit had to go off to do pretty much a job. because he is working still there at that spaceship just to be around his sister. He is crying, and guess who comes across him? Arthur. Arthur's gonna go look for Toothless. He goes, helps Arthur, but during that time, as all this is going around, when he's communicating with Meryl, guess who is watching him from afar? Kirsch. And Kirsch lists this whole event that I'm about to explain just happened, and I have no idea why. This kind of keeps me at awe, and it keeps me guessing. I love this show because it does keep me guessing of what's happening, what's everyone's motives and stuff like that. You see Arthur going on with going to fight Toothless. He knows that Toothless is all jacked up from the moths killing him. And guess who locks him up in there with the Zima 4? Slightly tells him he has to do it because they have his family, and he tells them, I have a family as well. Gets hit with the face hugger. Kirsch watches all this happen from a camera. Toothless is crying. Then Toothless, once all this happens, opens the door. He ends up inside of this place, and all you hear is kind of rattling in the back. In the room. Sorry, in the background you hear rattling where he's in the room, where you see Arthur just getting hit with the face hugger. Oh man, dude, I think just hell will let loose. All these Zima 4s are gonna start popping out. There's gonna be war. I have no idea what's happening. I have a feeling that the Sins are gonna end up fighting the humans. The humans and the cyborgs are gonna fight each other. I don't know. It's gonna be a free for all. There's gonna be teams, but that one-eyed thing, the one-eyed goat, it just keeps looking and observing everywhere. I have no idea what's gonna go on with this one-eyed thing. Is this like a different species where we are all undermining? But what do you guys think about this episode? What do you guys think is gonna happen in the future? How does this set up the rest of the Alien movies? Guys, let me know about you guys' thoughts and leave them down below. Now let's talk about the next topic. It is about the Man of Tomorrow movie. It has been confirmed that Lex Luthor is gonna come back with the suit. James Gunn, David Cornsett, Lex Luthor all posted different pictures, drawings by Jim Lee. He is a comic book writer and artist, and he also did all these pictures for them just specifically so they can post on their Instagram. And James Gunn has said that they're going to somewhat be teaming up, which is Lex Luthor and Superman. I don't know to what capacity. It is cool that they're going to team up in a sense where they need Lex Luthor's brains to fight off something bigger. But at the same time, and I'm like, you couldn't give Batman's super smart, Mr. Terrific super smart too as well. I think it's a little too soon to make him good, if I'm being 100% honest. But let's go on comicbook.com. I'm looking up on threads. Jim Gunn says the Man of Tomorrow will be a Superman Lex Luthor movie. It's a story about Lex Luthor and Superman having to work together to a certain degree against a much bigger threat. Brainiac. Who is it gonna be, guys? Is it Brainiac? I'm leaning more towards Brainiac, but I might think it's a little bit more on someone maybe on a smaller caliber. I would almost say. I'm not too sure who, but we shall see, guys. We shall see. But yeah, they are gonna be working together in some capacity. I think they'll work together, and the Lex Luthor kind of stabs Superman in the back. That'd be kind of cool. A little messed up, but Lex Luthor can just turn good all of a sudden, work with Superman. You know what I mean? He hates him to the bones and to his blood, down to his core. You're going to have him team up with Superman. I think there's going to be somewhat of a little bit of repercussions with that for trusting Lex Luthor. But that is it, guys. Got my Alien Earth episode 6, The Fly recap, and a little bit of Man of Tomorrow. A little bit of news here and there. I'm going to be doing a trailer reaction coming soon. Stay tuned for that. I will see you guys next time. Peace.